Taking on an interior design project can be really daunting, I know. So whether you're doing it yourself or actually working with an ID, here are a few tips to pull you through to make it as painless as possible. I'm Tyler Wisler, let's get it started. So let's jump right in and start with color, because it's probably one of the things that most people get excited about is what color is my room gonna be? Great, we love color. But don't get so hung up on the exact color. One thing I can't stand more than anything in the world is a set of furniture, a set of anything. What I would prefer is, like this blue room. There's no blue that is actually an exact match with anything else. It's just shades of blue, and I just think it looks so much more interesting and so much more inviting. Don't you think? From color, let's go ahead and start talking about lighting, illumination. Now, lighting is actually the most important tool in an interior designer's arsenal, because when you control the lighting, you control the room. So most of the time when you move into a space, you're gonna have built-in lights, which are generally built into the ceiling and just kind of blast light downward. What you wanna do is supplement that with chandeliers, pendants, table lamps, floor lamps. It will give you the option to have different lighting levels. When we're talking about lighting levels, I also want you to consider dimmers, because there's not a reason that you should have to turn the light on, and it's like an airport runway. It's too much. When you control the lighting, you can control the ambiance of the space. Now, when it comes to bulbs, I highly recommend getting a warmer type of bulb. It lends itself to being a little more cozy and a little more homey, where an LED bulb tends to be very blue and white and very clinical. We don't want that. Let's talk texture. So texture comes in two forms. We've got visual texture as well as tactile. So visual refers to something, say like herringbone floors. So the floor is flat, but you actually see a texture happening visually with the herringbone slats and the way that they're laid out. Or something like a beautiful marble wall that has book-matched tiles on it. Same kind of concept. Flat surface, but visually you see something. Now, tactile is all about what you can feel. So, for example, this knit pillow. The cable knit on it is big and nubby, and you want to get in there and feel it. And so what you want for any really good space is to have a nice mix of both visual and tactile elements in the room, because what you want your eye to do is sort of dance around and take in all these like beautiful moments. That's what texture is about. Where do you get the inspiration to start a design project? Well, it could happen from a multitude of places. Some people really get inspired by travel or fashion, or even something like an art piece. So for example, the piece behind me gives you the opportunity to play with color and pattern and really celebrate what that piece is about. Now, since it's behind me, let's talk about hanging things at the proper height. I believe that most people are actually unintentionally hanging things too high. What you really want to do is you want to hang things at eye level. Now I know everybody's taller, shorter, we're all at different heights, but relatively speaking, if you are hanging something between, say like 60 to 66 inches on the center of the piece, you are hanging it properly, because that way you can appreciate the entire scope of it. Now, I know lots of us have really high ceilings. We're blessed with high ceilings. It's wonderful, but you don't want to actually bring those pictures up because you can't appreciate them. You want to hang them where you can see them. Space planning is absolutely crucial with the success of any design project. So I've been trained, of course, as an interior designer to do all this stuff, but if you're not working with a designer, Best Home actually offers these services to help you really lay out and maximize the space as best as possible. So there's a big misconception about size and scale of certain furniture pieces working within certain spaces. Now, a lot of that's a myth. So with Best Home offering the services to help you out to really maximize your space and the flow of your place, I think it is invaluable, really. And another tip that I have for you is really when you invest in furniture pieces, you owe it to yourself to sit on the furniture pieces. Really get to know what you're getting into.